Welcome back everyone. In the last video, we saw how to master Excel sorting. As I mentioned, you have to be careful if there are formulas in your database, as changing the order of your rows would result in the formulas pointing to the wrong cells. So, if you want to sort a database with formulas, you have two options. Either you transform all the formulas into hard-coded values, or you carefully check that your formulas are sort resistant. In this video, we'll see how to make your formulas sort resistant. But first, let's see what can happen if you sort a database with formulas. And let's take, once again, our usual security database. We have our usual list of securities, two columns with a category and country taken with VLOOKUP from the security details sheet, and a value in $1,000. We also have a second example we'll check in the second part of the video. Let's sort this database by the category column. And before doing so, let's keep in mind Apple and Bank of America. Apple is a tech company and Bank of America is a financial company. Let's go here, click on Sort A to Z, and you can immediately see that Excel did not sort our database properly. All categories are mixed up. And let's see where we have now Bank of America. It is a communications security, and if we scroll down, Apple is a communications security as well. What happened? Why did we mess up our database so badly? Let's go back and review the formula. We have VLOOKUP. We look for securities A2, which is Apple. Our source database is security details, and we're looking for the second column. Nothing special. For the sake of clarity, let's make the text of these two cells red and the text of these two cells green. Okay, now let's sort again by category, A to Z, and we see that the sorting function correctly moved the category cell down with Bank of America and with Apple. Problem is, if we go here, this cell still refers to securities A2. Let's see it better by pressing F2. We go here, and in cell A2 we now have Verizon, which is a communications security. And this is why sorting can mess up your databases if you have formulas with cell references. Now, the interesting part. How do we fix this? There are going to be multiple solutions depending on the specific formulas you're using and on which cells the formulas are referring to. I'll tell you 3 possible solutions. As usual, keep them in your pocket and try them out when you encounter this problem. Let's first hit Ctrl Z to go back to the correct database. Okay, option number 1. The easiest, that will also solve our problem with this database. And to be honest, quite puzzling. You see that if we press F2 once again, securities A2 is a free reference, not locked. So if we move the cell, it should still refer to the cell in column A next to it. However, if you have the sheet name in here, like we have securities, this does not happen. So the easiest way to fix this problem is to remove the sheet name, which we don't need in any case, as it's the sheet we're in. So let's delete all these, exclamation mark as well, and we keep just A2. Control Enter, we stay in the same cell, double click, and now all the cells are red. Let's make them black. And now, if we try and sort once again A to Z, we see that the sorting operation works properly. Bank of America is still a financial security and Apple is still a tech security. Good. Let's go back and see option number 2. In the second option, you may need to use the indirect formula. In this case, we don't need it, as we've seen, but let me show you what to type. Instead of A2 here, we should have indirect of A within quotation marks, ampersand, and row, another function, open the parentheses, we close it, we delete 2, and we close the indirect parentheses. The row function returns the row of a specific cell. If you don't specify anything, like we have here, row will return the row of the cell it's written in. Let's press Ctrl, Enter to stay in the same cell, double click, we sort A to Z, and as you can see, sorting still works properly. And now let's see option 3. You may have to play with fixed versus free references. Sometimes you may have to fix the reference for the sorting to work, meaning adding dollars to your cell references. Let's see it with an example. And let's go to the example 2 sheet by pressing Ctrl and page down twice. I created a small table here where the second column refers to another part of the sheet called source DB with a simple equal sign for A, B, C, and D. If we now sort column 1, Z to A, or D to A, we should say, as you see, the second column doesn't change, and we do not have the correct result anymore, because now we have D1, while before we had A1. Using indirect won't work. You can try it if you want, but if we go back and we fix the references by pressing F2 and F4, we freeze E3, enter F2, F4, enter once again, and once again. Okay, and now we sort column 1 once again, D to A. You can see that now column 2 is still correct. Cell B3 is referring to 4, as it should be, and here cell B6 is referring to 1. This is going to be the worst case scenario, as once you fix the reference, you won't be able to paste the formula down, but as you've seen, you'll have to do it cell by cell. If you have a long database, this is going to be extremely time consuming. In that case, I suggest you paste the formulas as values or find a better way to structure your database if possible. In our case, we could have used a VLOOKUP and we would have solved the issue instead of using the equal signs. To conclude, always pay attention when you're trying to sort databases containing formulas. If you do it, double and triple check that your formulas still behave correctly after sorting. If not, use one of the methods we've just seen to fix your database. Unfortunately, there is no single solution in this case. You'll have to examine your database and choose what works. That's all for now. I hope you liked this video and learned something new. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date with the newest releases. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video.